I've been searching for you. Can you hear my voice calling from the streets? Deep calls unto deep. The purpose of your heart is deep waters, but a wise woman of understanding will draw it out of you. Come, drink from the fountain of wisdom, for my treasures are more valuable than rubies or gold. For I give long life, honor, and you receive favor from the Most High God. I've been waiting for you all my life. Welcome to Wise Woman's Wisdom. I'm Judah Jackson, your host and content creator. Today I want to share with you the inspiration, the mission, and the vision of Wise Woman. I'm so grateful for you to be here for the launch of my new YouTube channel. Wise Woman is not a descriptive phrase. It is an actual title. It has been documented as a type of woman that carried great authority in the Bible, but also it is one of Carl Gustav Jung, one of the four main archetypes for females. Now, I'm going to document that this title was used and is in the Bible. In 2 Samuel 2:20 and also 16, these are the chapters, David or men in his service, it documents twice that they called on and used the service of a wise woman. Now this is extremely important. One, David was a very powerful, holy king that worshiped the Most High God, and he had excellent spiritual leaders and advisors and seers and prophets around him. Nathan being one who happened to call out his sin with Bathsheba, and also he had other oracles that were just very accurate and gave David counsel. So for him to reach out to a wise woman was very significant. She wielded a lot of power and influence for her wisdom and her diplomacy in the community and in the political arena. And those two examples are shown in the Old Testament, 2nd and 2nd Samuel. Also, it shows that she is a benevolent, a good figure, because God did not rebuke David. It didn't call it a sin. And let me not get into her antithesis yet, but I'll explain what the wise woman archetype is. Now, if you're not familiar with archetype, Carl Gustav Jung, one of Sigmund Freud, who they call the father of psychology, one of his proteges, he developed a theory called the collective unconscious. Basically, it means that the whole racial history of humanity from day one, from Adam up until now, of everything that's ever happened to mortals, is somewhere in our brains, in every human being, called a collective unconscious. And the evidence for this, he found what he named archetypes, which mean there are patterns or characteristics of people, symbols that are found in every culture, no matter what culture, even the cultures that have been found in complete isolation from civilization, like the Yanomamo people, a few decades ago. They all have these archetypes. For example, the strong man, Superman, Samson, Hercules, they all have that figure, the ugly duckling. So there are four main archetypes for females, and one of them is the wise woman, also called the sage, or even the crone. The word crone comes from crown. Her collective wisdom and insight, her mind was her most important virtue, and she was in tune with nature, and she was a natural healer. She knew how to use the herbs to bring healing to the people, and she gave wisdom and helped people that needed clarity and to move away blocks to get the understanding. And quite often people just encountered her when they were at a point of crisis and they needed to make decisions. So she's a very much benevolent being, and she was so powerful that some men did fear her and tried to classify her with her antithesis, were complete opposite, which is the wild woman, or the hag, or the witch. Now, she was considered a very malevolent, evil figure, whether it's right or not, because it doesn't take very much with the hatred of women. But anyway, she was the opposite of, classified as the opposite of wise woman. And now, King Saul, the king of Israel before David, he went to consult with a witch of Endor, and the Most High God punished him and took the kingdom from Saul for doing that. So we see the difference, and we see in the Bible that God treated him differently, because when David and those men in his king's service went to get counsel from the wise woman, there's no mention of rebuke or anything like it was a wicked thing. But when the witch of Endor, he went there, God snatched the kingdom out of Saul's hand. Now, one of the things I am going to differentiate what the witch was doing, she was conjuring spirits from the different realms. And that's a big difference there between her and the wise woman. So anyway, this is who the wise woman is. And our mission, or my mission here, and I see myself recruiting other people to get involved, interviews down the way. But anyway, the mission of Wise Woman's Wisdom is, it can be summed up, I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but the wisdom was gleaned from Proverbs 25. And basically it is that the purpose of a man's heart, or one's heart, is a deep well. But a wise woman of understanding, will draw it out of him. So the mission is to draw out the purpose in your heart. Now, a little bit of study into that scripture, Proverbs 25. The word purpose in Hebrew, atzah, is counsel, advise, plan, to consult with. So that's what heart means, is a counsel, advise, to consult, a plan. So it's already been placed. And where is it placed? The word for in the heart is very detailed, very specific. It's the innermost mind of the person. The heart, the will, the mind, the emotion, to be able to discern, to reason, to reflect. So it's very clear that it's in the soul realm, which is the mind, will, and emotions. It's in the mind. The plan and purpose and counsel for your life is already there. So you might be asking, so why don't I know? Good question. When you're born, it's there, and as you develop, I believe it's trying to come to the surface. The light is there, but oftentimes things bury it, and it gets separated from you, that knowledge. Oftentimes trauma puts like a layer of rock over the heart, either through denial or some kind of self-protection, and then other debris, people's opinion of who they think you should be, the media brainwashing of who's important, who's beautiful, what's successful, their brainwashing, then the programming at school, and it just piles up, and then it hardens. So you're separated, that light, you're separated, you don't know, and you're confused. Where you're not even confused, you don't know. And that's what happens. But what our mission, how we plan to tap that well, first is I'm sharing stories, insights, wisdom, reflections from my life, my 62 years. And I believe that some of these things will begin to resonate, to awaken, to inspire, sometimes even provoke you, to stir up that gift within. What's that plan, that purpose? And it's still going to have pressure against that rock, but it's going to start putting pressure on it. And then other things we want to do one of the main things is to excavate, to begin to dig, to go into the soul, to go through all those layers, to break it up. And then when you hit that rock, sometimes you have to have a special tool like a water well driller. He has a drill that goes through the earth, it excavates, it goes down. And oftentimes when they hit rock, the water might be on the other side of the rock. He usually has to switch the drill because he has to get something that's stronger than rock to drill through it. And sometimes that's counseling, sometimes that is a book. But either way, we want to work on that together to get you connected to your purpose so you can, well, let me go to the mission, the actual vision. So the vision of Wise Woman's Wisdom is to be a catalyst for activated women in their purpose, that they might take their light and bring healing to marriages, families, communities, and the workplace, to glorify the Most High God and uplift His kingdom. That is the vision. So I'm so excited that you're here. And one of the reasons why I'm launching at this time is I just turned 62 years old on July 9th, my birthday. And in the American culture, in the United States, you're pretty much officially 62. You get a lot of benefits, discount on ice cream, but you're officially considered a senior. And in most cultures, they call seniors elders. And one of the roles of the elders are to, again, share this wisdom, pass it to the next generation. They've collected insights that is going to bless the community. And I feel like it's time to give back. I'm reflecting on my life. I'm a single woman, 62-year-old single woman, never been married. So my life was a little different from most of my friends. I got to do a lot of different things, go different directions, get all these insights, and I'm putting it together myself. So through sharing this with you at this time to commemorate my 62nd birthday. So I'm so glad you're here for the launch. I look forward to meeting you and getting to know you, and I am planning to shoot between 1 and 2 videos a week. I'll confirm that in the next video. And then I will always sign off with a quote of wisdom, oftentimes from a wise woman. So today's quote is actually from the Most High God, Jehovah God, and it is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, plans for good and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Until we meet again, go with love. Judah Jackson, signing off.